Hello, this is Torrin at Connect the Political Dots. I did a post on Facebook the other day where I compared Ted Cruz to certain men and said basically if you don't like Ted Cruz, you don't like these men. The men I was talking about were like Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, William Wallace, even the movie Braveheart. You don't like the movie Braveheart if you don't like a man like Ted Cruz. You don't like any John Wayne movie if you don't like a man like Ted Cruz. And probably the most quintessential movie that I think defines the man that Ted Cruz is would be a movie like High Noon, Gary Cooper. A man that is going to do the right thing. He's going to. It's not a matter of if. That's why those that were waiting for him to endorse Donald Trump are stupid. It's never going to happen. Once you understand the character of a man, and that man has character, you know what he will and will not do. The funny thing is, I got into a debate with a woman, actually in a Ted Cruz room, about that very post. She didn't mention anything about Ted Cruz, but she started talking about Abraham Lincoln, the founder of the Republican Party. Well, the first president Republican. Ended slavery. Well, she started going into history and say, well, Lincoln didn't really want to free slaves. He was a racist and a dictator. And started talking about the Civil War as the War of Northern Aggression. And after I questioned her a little bit and acted like I was giving her credibility, I got out who she really was. She was not a Ted Cruz supporter ever. But she had the Ted Cruz emblem on her picture. She was an infiltrator. Apparently what's going on is there's a lot of infiltrators jumping into rooms like Ted Cruz rooms and conservative rooms, trying to not destroy the ideology of conservatism and constitutionalism, but to try to destroy the icons, those that represent the party or those that represent the ideals of the party personally. And that's what she was trying to do with Abraham Lincoln. Well, after I decimated her on the facts, she disappeared, deleted all of her posts, and I haven't heard from her since. And I probably won't, at least not with that name. But I'm sure she'll be back, or he, or whatever. Then I got a private message from a guy that said, I'm just gonna, I'm thinking about what Dennis Prager's saying, and I'm thinking about maybe, I'll just be never Hillary, because Hillary will do damage immediately, and Trump, it'll take time, he'll have to do this, blah, blah, blah. Whatever happened to critical thinking? Whatever happened to it? Whatever happened to connect the dots? The question is, can you be never Hillary and be never Trump? Of course. Can you be never Hillary and pro-Trump? No. Doesn't work. Can you be never Trump and pro-Hillary? No. You can't. They're the flip sides of the same coin. They share the same ideology, the same ideals, the same lack of principle, the lack of moral core. They're both pragmatists. They both seek power. They both seek control. They're the same. One is male, one is female. Now, if you want to say I like Trump better because he's a guy and he's tough and politically incorrect and he says things, that's fine. Then you're voting for the personality, not the ideology and who the man actually is. You're voting for the image on The Apprentice, not the man that Donald Trump actually is. You can say, I'm going to vote for Hillary because she's a woman and she's going to do this and she's going to help. Fine. So is Trump. They're the same person. They're just packaged a little differently. You can't say, I'm pro-Jesus but anti-God. Doesn't work. It doesn't work. Critical thinking is not being taught. People can't connect these dots. They can't reason this out within themselves. The reason that Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton have been friends for decades is because they share the same interests. I won't say values. I can say they share the same lack of values, but there are no values to speak of when it comes to Hillary or Trump. This is the problem. You know, the Democratic Party never really cared about values, never really cared about principles, never really cared about corruption. They're going to vote for their candidate. Hillary's a liar. Hillary's corrupt. The Democrats know this. So they're not, it doesn't affect them. They're going to vote for Hillary Clinton because she's got that D. Okay? It's that D. So all Republicans that used to get mad at Democrats for just voting that D, that now think they're going to vote for Donald Trump because he has that R, are the biggest hypocrites on the planet. Because he's a D. He just put a line down, and a little line made an R. He's a D. He's obviously a D. He's provably a D. Them Republicans used to care about principle, honesty, not being corrupt. That used to be something. Mitch Romney was a good man, a decent man. That's what he was saying. At least he's a decent man. Can't say that about Donald Trump. Can't. Because he's not. Anybody that flies around with Bill Clinton and Joel Epstein is not a decent man. And you want me to endorse this fool? You want me to stop saying things that are negative about him? Well, the only way I can stop saying negative things about Donald Trump is to not talk about Donald Trump. There's too much negative. The positive is just hyperbole. It's just marketing. He has marketed himself into the Republican nomination. Congratulations. You just bought a commercial.